Here's an old Rover 4-liter. See? Rover 4-liter. This engine's no good, but I want to show you. So the oil filter goes on here. On the side, you have a port for your oil cooling line. And here is where your oil pressure relief valve is. Oops, right there. Sorry about the camera. Now let me show you what's in there. You have your plunger, you have your spring, and you have your end cap, just called cap. This is what it's supposed to be reassembled looking like. Oops, something like that. Always make sure to use a new O-ring, that way you don't have a mysterious oil leak that everyone tells you is your oil filter. So there is a clip that goes in here. You need a pair of snap ring pliers, pull it out, and this all comes out. Now if you look inside there, you can see a shoulder. When you insert your plunger is not going to want to line up. So you have to take your spring, engage it, then wiggle it up and down. And your plunger will go back in. Okay? So that's what we're going to do today, but we're going to do it on the vehicle. Got a whole bunch of snap ring pliers. I think I'm going to try this one. So first, I'm going to use this right angle pick to get in here. I can't see the ends, but I can feel where the holes are on that clip. I'm going to there we go. Rotate it around. Did you see that? Ah. That way I can access. Look at the camera. Go, there we go. I was able to get this and move the clip to and fro. The clip came out just a little bit. I might get lucky here. Let me see here. Oh, okay. Gotta get my other pliers. Let's take a look here. Almost. Try a larger set for a longer reach. Radiator hose is in the way. That's nice. Come on. Let me try and pick that out again. I could see him in a pretty good spot. There we are. Whoop! Made a little mess. Got it out. Then we have backup disc and the sealing O-ring. We have, whoops, we have a spring. And we have the plunger. Let's go to the bench. So let's do a comparison here. This is the plunger and spring from a different motor, from a different Rover 4-liter. This is what I just pulled out. Now, we line up the springs. The bottom at my thumb It's the same position. The one on the right's a little higher. So the one we're running is a little worn. We're running consistently 26 pounds, which is, it's enough to run the engine. It won't tear itself to pieces, but we do want more than 26 pounds. Now, looking at the plungers, this is from that other engine. Don't know if the video shows all the scores. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at all the scores on this one. So this one was digesting a lot of dirty oil. Plunger I'm running does not have scores because we're not running dirty oil. It has a few marks. See right there? It's not bad. Look inside. It's pretty clean. So I'm going to use this spring from the other engine. The other engine was overheated terribly. Now, I'm not going to use the disc. Well, let's call it a plug. I don't know what Rover calls it, but I'm going to call it a plug. This plug is from the overheated engine. I'm not going to use it because I know that mine seals and works fine. Now, something I measured was how big a washer can go inside there. And this is an old school method of making up for a worn out oil pressure relief valve spring. So if you were to put a couple of washers in there, it would increase the tension of the spring, and it would increase the amount of oil pressure that's available to the engine. You can't go too crazy. You can blow your oil filter off. You can have leaks at your oil filter. You can have leaks on your timing cover. You can wind up putting too much oil into your valve covers and having it leak out there. Too much oil pressure is not a good thing. So I'm going to be able to put a couple of washers in only because I can get a live reading. As I showed you earlier, I have that line, that little copper line going to an oil pressure gauge inside. So I feel confident putting these in. Now, this spring has 200,000 miles on it. So does this. But this one has a little bit more tension. Now, if I fire it up and the oil pressure goes above 60, then I'm going to have to take out a washer or two. Because we want to run between 40 and 60. 40 is fine, 60 is peak performance. Okay, so let's get back to it. Before putting them in, we're going to lube them all up with assembly goo. It's imperative that these pieces be perfectly clean. Any grit that you leave on here, either from the floor, your hands, a dirty rag, anything, can be ingested into the engine and tear up your bearings. And you know, if it's big enough, it can clog a passage up top. You don't want to run any rocker arms dry. I mean, just lack of oil destroys your engine. So we're going to lube it all up nicely. I've already cleaned them up. Got lots of nice brake cleaner. And we'll put them in. Okay, we're back under. Got my plunger all gooed up. Clean and gooed. Come on. Alright, doesn't want to go all the way in because it's got a small recess. So I will use the spring to engage the end. Lift up maybe. There we go. Lifted it up, put it in. Now, here's the fun part. My disc. It's going to have to go in. And I'm going to have to get the little clip. There we go. This is going to be squeeze the clip, line the disc, push it in, all at the same time here, so. Went off to get a screwdriver. I'm going to push down all the sides of this clip. Make sure it's in. Feels like it's in. Oh, that looks much better than it did last time. Oh yeah. Very nice. Let's see if I can spin it. Yep, I can do it. Oh yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. Do you see that? That's how we know that the clip is in there for sure. I'm going to show you another method. I'm going to try and get this mirror in the right spot for the video. Yeah, it worked out real well. I want to be able to spot the old snap ring. It should look like the parts with the holes are significantly thinner than the back side of it, in the middle. That shows you that those are inside the groove. And this side you can verify with your screwdriver. Press down on it. And if it moves down a tiny bit and bounces back and stops, it means it's in the groove. We're going to call that fixed. There we are in the Rover. Got my handy dandy Volt water oil. The water is electronic because the sensor fits in nicely. Now this gauge would read about 21 pounds. Whenever I put a pressure gauge directly onto the oil filter sandwich adapter, I got 26 pounds. Now, I tend to find aftermarket gauges are a little bit off. That's all right. I know that when this says 21, it's actually 26. Now, we can't expect... I am all alone. Nobody cares, and that is not true. Can't expect this to jump right up because we've emptied part of the oiling system. So we're going to have to refill that in order to get some pressure. So here goes. So, looking at this gauge, so now says 26, which has given us a tiny bit more pressure. So about 5 pounds, those 2 washers gave us 5 pounds more pressure. Interesting. Brought up 2,000 RPM. It's holding pretty steady. So I guess my spring is just severely worn out. And maybe I should put in 4 washers. Well, let's run it like this, and we'll see how she does. maybe we will add a couple more washers. This spring and plunger seem to be unavailable, and my credit card doesn't allow out of country purchases. So what I think I have to do is just make a special purchase overseas. Like and subscribe, or I'll set this fella loose in your garage.